YouTube. Jason from Renegade Rants Comics here. So, it's been a bit since I did a video. Work, life, summer. So, I've got a few things I want to show. First thing I'm going to do is, and this is a while coming, LCS Stevie D sent me a package. And I know what's in it because he's been doing some artwork where he's kind of drawing some creators and doing some stuff with that. So, kind of excited to see what he actually sent here. So let's get in here and see. Oh, that's awesome. I'm looking for Jonah Hex, Punisher War Journal, and whatever I can track down. And then he's got a picture of me with Ghost Rider. And I like the fact that he actually used the Honda hat that I wear sometimes. And he's got my logo up in there. And then he did a little note for me. Hey Jason, now you can say you're talking to yourself. Just kidding. Here's the prototype of your caricature. Your friend Steve. So that's kind of cool. So thank you, Stevie. I appreciate it. And I will definitely try to get a nice little frame here for it. Put it up on my wall of art. So, of course, with everything else going on, I have neglected to hit my LCS. So, it's always fun when you walk into your LCS and this is the stack of new books that you haven't picked up. And I went, oh, wow. So, first thing we got was Cable Love and Chrome 5. Hell Hunters 5. Helverine 6. Helverine 7. Helverine 8. Wolverine 9. Wolverine 10. Deadpool and Wolverine 4. 5. 6. And 7. And then I have Ultimate Wolverine 5. 6. And 7. So, it took me most of the weekend, but I was able to catch up on my reading, which was kind of nice. However, I don't know if you guys do the same thing, like if it's been a while since you read the story or, in between reading the last one and this one. And I almost had to go back because I was lost on a couple of them. And I'll tell you, Ultimate Wolverine, like the first couple issues, took me a while to kind of get where they were going with it. And I know it's like an alternate take, so... But it's actually getting pretty good, so I'm actually kind of starting to get into that. So, that's basically the pickups that I got for the week. Couple things going on. So, I am prepping for Terrificon. That's going to be my new thing for the next couple weeks, because I think we're only like 20 days out. Because it's August 8th, 9th, and 10th. So, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to take, what I'm going to do. So, I've got to sit down and figure out signatures. In last videos I said I kind of wanted to get away from necessarily doing a lot of the signatures and stuff like that because it gets expensive. But with everything going on out there right now, like, I want to try to get some things signed. So part of me is, do I take some of my uncle's X-Men that are the keys, and I take them down and I stand in Claremont's line and I get some stuff signed on it by Claremont? Because even though it's lower condition, do I have them signed and maybe raise the value for them or something? Or at this point in time, maybe I'll look at getting a couple of them. So that's something to consider. The actors that are going to be there, I'm probably never going to have a chance to run into them. So there's only really 2 actors that I really care I shouldn't say that I really care, but that I would actually pay that kind of money to see, and one is going to be Lee Majors. I mean, Fall Guy, when I was growing up, I watched that, as much as I could, and, I used to watch him in the Big Valley. Everybody knows him from the $6 Million Man. I remember a show called Raven in the 90s where he played like the friend of the martial arts guy that was a ninja or something like that on CBS. It lasted like 2 seasons. It was pretty good. And then, so I definitely want to try to, be able to talk to him or at least get a signature from him. But I looked it up and I actually thought there was a Fall Guy comic, but apparently there was never a Fall Guy comic. There was a $6 Million Man. There was all sorts of other stuff. So now I'm kind of debating, and time-wise, I'm kind of running out of options. So what I might do is I think I found it's almost like a Hot Wheels or Matchbox Fall Guy truck. And I might take that down and have him sign that just because I'm into cars and trucks and stuff anyway. So that might be kind of cool. So what do you think? Is there anything that that Lee Majors has out that would be kind of cool to have him sign? I'm not sure if he has pictures there, because I noticed that a lot of the places, like I never really did much of the celebrities, but like I met Henry Winkler down at the Syracuse Nationals one year, and he had like the different headshots. You could actually pick the picture, and then that was included in the price, and then they'd sign the photo for you. So I'm not sure if that's going to be something that they have. So I'm kind of hoping maybe, but I want to have something there. The other one is going to be Billy Zane. So last night, I actually watched the Phantom movie again. I haven't watched it in probably 15 years. And, of course, special effects-wise, it was a little worse than I thought it was, but that was a really good movie. Like, it was fun. I forgot that Catherine Zeta-Jones was in it. And then Treat Williams as the bad guy, and he actually played him perfectly, in my opinion. But it's just a fun movie. It's not overly complicated, and I mean, it was just, if you think about the Phantom was around before Superman. It was in the comic strips and stuff. So I do have a couple Phantom comics that I actually picked up to have Billy Zane sign, but then I was trying to, I know he's between the $80 to $100 range for a signature, and I know that Lee Majors is probably in that vein, so you're looking at $160 just for 2 signatures, and that's from just actors that I, respect, or, that I really, want to kind of have a chance to just say hi, or, I really appreciate, your work. But that's $160 that I could be spending on comics. So, kind of throwing it up there, and I'm trying to budget a hell of a lot better this year, because I'm going to be actively searching while I'm there to look at pricings on an MS5. So, Marvel Spotlight 5, everybody knows that is watching. I've been looking for that, so I am literally gonna probably pull the trigger if I can find a good enough price. If not, I found a couple that are actually less than I probably would be willing to pay, but the condition is just horrible. Like, I found one that the cover was detached. The black cover looks like it's almost white now, just from the crackling and the fading on the cover, and that was like $379. So in order to say, hey, I have it, complete the collection, do I just buy that one and, at least I've got it? Or do I pony up more money, but then you start putting the signatures or, going to the actors and you start spending that? So what do you guys do? And what I want to do is I'm going to try to put out another video next week. So last year I did me prepping for Terrificon, because that's the only really big show I go to. I know we went down to the Syracuse Comic Collector show, but Terrificon is the actual con that I go to. And then I was freaking out because I hadn't got my ticket yet. And when I went to go get my ticket, I realized that it said sold out for the 3-day pass, but thank God it was just for the foot traffic. And I actually was going to buy the foot pass. I was just waiting to save up enough money to get it. And that sold out, and it was freaking me out that oh my God, I'm not going to be able to get there. So, but I was able to find the 3-day pass, got the tickets downloaded, so we should be good there. But it's a matter of my friend Sean, he was messaging the other day, and my friend Dave, and we're all going to be kind of riding together and stuff like that. And it's kind of like the old school trips that we used to take. Then Sean's girlfriend Heidi, and Sean's sister Sam, her husband Jesse, and, Morgan, the 2-year-old. 2-year-old or 1-year-old? The baby. Anyway, we're all going to be going down, so we're going to have the 2 cars and stuff like that. And, it's just a matter of, we're not staying at the hotel. We're going to be staying at a Airbnb. So, how far away is it? Probably about 10 minutes. So either way, it's Ubering thing, because I don't know what's going to happen. Like, if I end up getting a chance to hang out with maybe some of the other creators, am I going to just hang out there and then Uber back to the place? Or, maybe one of those guys will be hanging out with me and we just take one of the cars back, kind of thing. But it's going to be crunch time because I have to be working at my other job the day before the convention, and where I'm going to be working in Vermont is 7 hours, 5 hours from home. It's 2 hours from Connecticut. So now I'm debating on if I'm just going to drive straight to Connecticut from Vermont or come back home. But with all the stuff I have to take for my job, I don't have a lot of room for extra clothes and the comics I want and any of the stuff that I'm taking. So kind of trying to figure that out as we go. So do me a favor. What would you bring to Terrificon if you were me? Comment down below. Like, take the giant size X-Men, have it signed. Take some of the other X-Men keys from some of the previous videos that were in my uncle's collection, have them signed. Just pull the trigger and get the Billy Zane autograph and the Lee Majors autograph. Pull the trigger and see what I can find for Marvel Spotlight 5 just to complete that part of my collection. And then maybe I back off on buying other stuff for a few months. I kind of let the new comics pile up, but maybe it's time to cancel those and I'll pick them up later on in the back bins. I don't know. But if you like this sort of thing, like, share, subscribe. But what would you do? What are you taking to Terrificon? Are you going to be at Terrificon? If you're going to be at Terrificon, message down below that you're going to be at Terrificon, and maybe we can set up a time to hook up, at the convention kind of thing. And, we'll do a little on-the-spot recording kind of thing, because I do want to actually get some better footage than last year. I did all right doing some of the footage. But I'm going to be kind of more actively trying to, make it a little bit, better. I think this channel has improved immensely over the last year from, like, some of the first videos that I see. But every once in a while, I'm not thinking it's that much better. So comment down below if you think the channel's improved or not improved. But I want to just sign off with that. Stevie D. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate this, my friend. And I do like the fact that you got my Honda hat. Because ordinarily, everybody's always asking me about this one. So, hope everyone has a good day. Be nice to each other out there. The world is a very rough place, and we need some more people with capes to make it better. So we will see you next time.